We on?
We're on.
We're on. Great. Welcome, everyone. Good day. Welcome to calendar week 29 of the Engineering Weekly. And in case you haven't noticed, or I should maybe ask you, do we know what day it is today? I know you're seeing a pattern here, by the way. So any ideas what day it is?
Superman Day.
That was last week, actually. It was a month off that Eswar had politely shared with me the news that I was a month off on that one, but it was still fun. I had fun, at least.
I figured we could just do it anytime you wanted now.
It is National Daiquiri Day. So I started my morning with, a bit of the juice. It was a virgin one, though. Beats.
Why do I not believe that was virgin?
That's a virgin one. We're fresh off the heels. Last night, Phil and I were able to attend Zuko Wilcox. I don't know if you guys have heard him before. He's a Zcash founder. Fascinating guy. Just did a Q&A session at the Twitter office here in Boulder. I did put a link to the live stream, and I did fast forward a little bit just to get through all of the minutia of the crowd settling down. So I encourage you guys, if you're interested, to take a look at that, because I thought the discussions that happened were really cool.
Yeah, Zuko, definitely a very, very interesting guy. Zcash is an incredibly interesting project. All the stuff they're doing around cryptography and privacy is pretty incredible. So I found it really, really interesting from a lot of perspectives.
Excellent. Okay, let's do a quick round of introduction. So let's start with Anderson. Tell me who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing.
So guys,
What do you message?
so guys, my name is Anderson Quadros. I'm from Brazil, but actually I'm currently in Spain. I work for the Akasha Foundation, and well, I have been following market protocol mainly. Yeah, I try to help, but I don't have much time to help, so it's a bummer.
Well, we appreciate the time that you spent, Anderson. Thanks very much. Let's go to Travis.
Hey guys, my name is Travis Mathis. I'm a core team developer at Market Protocol. I'm also the lead developer on the dApp as well. So.
Hey, did we introduce you last week coming on board full time?
We did, I believe.
We did. Okay,
yeah.
Great. Thanks, Travis. Phil.
Hey guys, it's awesome to see some new faces on the call this morning. I'm Phil Elsasser, CTO and co-founder of Market Protocol.
Nitin. And again, did we announce your start
Not yet. This is
full-time
the
with
first time
us?
joining.
Sorry, say again.
This is the first time I'm joining this call.
Well, introduce yourself, and we're gonna welcome you to the crew.
Yes, so I'm Nitin. I am from Bangalore, India, and I joined Market Protocol this week as a product designer, as a developer. So yeah, this has been first week here.
Awesome. Welcome to the team. We're happy to have you.
Just a
Thank
quick
you.
background note, Nitin's been contributing for, 4 or 5 months. As far as helped us to find him. He helped us through Gitcoin for a little bit, and then just directly has been contributing for a while. We're really excited to bring him on. It's been just great to work with, and excited to have more of his hours. He was a busy guy, and I was always hammering him for more time. So now he's ours.
Yes, finally.
Perfect. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Great.
How are you?
Good. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Okay. My name is Perfect. I'm from Nigeria. I contribute to Gitcoin. Gitcoin Market Protocol.
Thanks very much for joining us.
Part-time, yes.
Bogdan. Are you new to the project? I haven't seen your name before.
Hey, no, actually, I'm just joining from Anderson recommendation to check out this project. So I'll try to not to stand in your way.
Well, welcome to the call. Thanks very much for attending.
Thank you.
Dano.
I'm Dano Farron. I'm a software developer in Boulder. I've been to some of the blockchain meetups, and I've seen Phil, so I thought I'd stop by and see what's going on here.
Awesome, Dano. Thanks very much for joining us today. And then Patrick, fresh off of an extended tour in Italy.
Nice. Yeah, Patrick Charles. I've been helping out with some of the AWS infrastructure and SEO in the past, and always looking for other areas that I can help out Market Protocol.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Patrick.
Patrick also helps by ripping my legs off on bike rides every weekend. Also for that as well.
Oh, that's the connection. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Keeps you in shape, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, gentlemen, thanks again for joining the call. It's all about our community, and it's what makes this project great. So thanks. Inside of the agenda notes, I'm forming some trends here. I don't know if they're helpful. Eswar, you just joined. Do you want to just introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
Sorry, Robert?
Do you want to introduce yourself and then just share with you where you're from?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining Market Protocol Engineering Call. So I'm Ishwar. I'm working as a developer at Market Protocol for the past 3-4 months. I've joined full time. So I'm actually focused on working with the front-end technologies. So yeah, I'm from Bangalore, India. So yeah.
Great, thanks, Eswar. So it's great to have a mix of core and community on the call. So in the Phil just shared the GitHub link for the agenda. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, if this information you find it to be useful, let me know. If you'd like to see something different, I always like to look at trends and stats and such. And so even though we're starting well into the project, I figure just put a stake in the ground and start putting some metrics out there about some of our repos. These aren't all of them, but I think these are the most popular ones, and just get a feel and an idea of our activity on a weekly basis. I think some weeks will be just busier. Other weeks will not be that way, and releases kind of come and go depending upon what's needed for that particular week. I think things will get a little bit more structured as we move forward, and we can share some of those intentions at the end of the call. So just sharing information with core and community, as well as also just notable commits. And we as core team members, obviously our daily activity and job is to do software development. So it doesn't really make sense to showcase the work that we're doing, but it's more important about showcasing some of the commits that's coming from the community. And so I added it this week. I didn't have the data last week, but I just appreciate the commitments across the dApp, the website, Market.js, as well as the protocol, Market Protocol types this past week, and the commits that went out with some of the software, both incremental and also releases. Let's see. So we did have some releases this week, small incremental ones, but again, making progress across all of our repos, the dApp, the website, Market.js, and our Market API. And if you guys are curious about what those are or have any questions, please let me know. The dApp obviously is our distributed application that is showcasing a lot of our functionality as it relates to the Market Protocol and working on the Ethereum blockchain and in our smart contracts. Obviously, our external presence is the website. The Market.js is a TypeScript / JavaScript library that we believe most of our partners will interact with our smart contracts and the blockchain using that interface. And so there's a lot of functionality for trading derivatives. It's growing. There are some models out there, if you're familiar with like the 0x project, There's a lot of similarities to what they're doing, but ours is more specific toward, again, the derivatives trading. So you'll see a lot of activity going forward in that project. And the market API is an area which, when we need endpoints from a REST perspective to do whatever we need to do inside of our application or dApp, that's where we put that functionality. So initially, we're creating a very simple bot to return signed orders to the dApp. So individuals or potentially even bots could trade against that. So more plans on the simulated exchange as we go forward in the weeks to come. Any questions on that or any of the other repos? Or did I leave anything out, Phil? Okay. Heads up. Did anyone come across anything this week that would be useful to share with the core team and the broader community in this call? And again, this is being recorded, so other people besides ourselves will be looking at this information, potentially making it useful for themselves as they go through the software development process.
So just one thing for people that are working on in the dApp or other code bases for that matter as well, but as we find things in the dApp that we see repeated a lot or that have complexity that we think would be useful for other people that are building applications on top of the protocol, we're trying to migrate those pieces specifically to market.js to make them more reusable and clean up a lot of kind of the boilerplate code around Web3 and some of the callbacks. So if you find something that we haven't identified yet as needing to be migrated to market.js, please do call it out, let us know, or even just open an issue and we can track it and make sure that we add it to that library.
Thanks, Phil. That's a great point. Yeah, we're constantly, as we start to talk about the feature functionality in the dApp, and we're like, oh, that'd be great to be in market.js. So again, yeah, just send all that feedback our way if you find something. Okay, any questions for Phil? Anything that's on your minds you'd like to know more about the company, the project, from a technical perspective and architecture, where this whole thing is heading? You're not a very popular guy, Phil. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I understand.
I have one question.
Sure, Pedersen.
When are you going to Borneo?
End of the month. I think I leave July 28th or something like that. So it should be great. Hopefully, I won't I'll throw my laptop in the ocean. I hope.
I'm looking forward to see your pictures from there.
Yeah, it should be. I'm very excited to take a break and go on vacation, definitely. And really excited about the people that we've brought on to the core team lately that have been picking up a lot of the pieces. And I think it's really nice to feel like there's some structure in place that things keep going while I'm not the sole person kind of pushing everything along. So I'm excited that we're expanding the core team, and we're definitely still looking to do that. So if people are interested in joining us full time or have others that they think might be really good fits for full-time employment with Market Protocol, or even want to get more involved and try to figure out a way to just even work part-time, not necessarily through Gitcoin, but just as contractors, we're interested in all those things. So please feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about that.
Great, thanks, Phil. What dates are you leaving this country?
I'll have to look at my calendar.
Or maybe you shouldn't say it because it's being recorded and someone will know that you're not at your house. I don't know.
Right. Maybe. Yeah. There you go. That's a good point. Yeah. Indiscriminate dates.
Yes. Well, it's well deserved, and you need a break. So enjoy.
Thanks.
All right. Okay. So we do have one demo today. Travis, are you going to do that?
I don't really have anything particular that I can demo. I don't really think that the assigning an order is in a demoable state. it's pretty hard to tell what's going on from what's there. So I would like to hold off another week, or at least until we get the contract naming updates implemented, so that I can kind of tie that off. But that should be ready next week. But we did get it. I mean, it is there. There's just some refactoring that needs to go on, and then some things that are missing that we need to implement. I mean, the other things that I've done were just bug fixes, so I don't necessarily have anything to demo this week.
Did we walk through the new contract deployment process? That's the thing that
we did not, but we could demo that. I did fix those bugs in there that made that a lot nicer.
Okay.
We could do that. Give me just a second.
Sure, that's fine. And hey, Travis, before you start, will you just pause for a couple of seconds, say your name, what you're going to demo, and then move on, because I'm cutting these sections out so Lazar can post those on YouTube.
Yeah, give me just a second while I get everything set up. If you guys want to continue on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Once I have everything set up, I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop down one. I do have a shameless plug because I thought it was very interesting when you take a look at, I think most of you know about Gitcoin. If you don't, there's a link in the agenda to learn more about it, which is essentially a system where we post work. There are GitHub issues. We post work. We put bounties against those in ETH, and then individuals will work on that particular issue and then be paid out in Ether. So I found it very interesting. If you take a look at the leaderboard, the top 3 individuals happen to be very active, and one of which, the top one, we hired recently full time. So a shameless plug for Gitcoin.
I was talking to Kevin Owaki last night, and he was trying to make some sort of guarantee that if you ever touch the top of the leaderboard in Gitcoin, they'll find you a job. And that's probably pretty accurate that we can facilitate part of that for him. So yeah, Gitcoin's doing a lot of really cool stuff to help us and to help projects in general.
Yeah. Go ahead, perfect.
No, I was just saying yes. I was agreeing with Phil.
Hey, on a side note, Phil, I think I've walked past Kevin twice and I didn't recognize him. Did he get a haircut?
He did get a haircut.
Okay.
He looks very different.
That is him. That was funny. At the meetup last night, I looked over. I'm like, who is that guy? And then in the hall at work, I was walking the hall and I looked and I'm like, that kind of looks like Kevin, but I don't think it is. He's a man with many disguises.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So Travis, do you want to let us know if you're ready? And if not, maybe I'll talk about couple other things.
It's going to take me just a second. We redeployed contracts, so all of the contracts I had set up with deposit collateral and such are no longer in existence or no longer available to me.
I can demo it real quick if you'd like me to.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
So I was gonna have to either deploy a contract with real wrapped Ether, or I was about to send you a message to send me some of the faked wrapped Ether that we created, because we have that's the F with is all new. So.
Got it. So I can go through it, but for deploying, you actually don't need any collateral tokens. So I'll go through this real quick though. Let's see here. Let me just share screen. Quite a few things here. Can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So in the new deploy contracts flow, basically we have a simplified deployer that allows for really quick access to selecting reference assets. And a reference asset is basically the asset that we're tying our contract to. And this deployment allows you to select an API that you'd like to to use to get that data from. So you can use Binance or Bitfinex. We'll just use Binance for this example. We're working on this dropdown a little bit because it's pretty confusing that all these ETH pairs are there, and if you scroll way down, you finally get to way down. You finally get to pairs that have USDT or Tether. So we'll just make a Litecoin contract for this example. Go through some pricing. It shows us the current price of Litecoin, and we can set the floor and the cap on our contracts. This isn't new functionality, but the deployment process is we can set an expiration and a contract name. We're actually cleaning this up a little bit further. In the next few weeks, we're going to standardize that a little bit to just add some clarity around what each field means and standardization there as well. So if we click deploy, we're going to get a few MetaMask confirmations. Let's see if those maybe. I should get a few MetaMask confirmations. Let's try this one more time. Also helps if you're actually connected to MetaMask or to Rinkeby. Try that once more here. All right, so we'll go through. Grab that Litecoin. All right. Okay, so now I should get some confirmations. We'll submit this transaction. So this is the new screen that basically takes you through what's happening for each transaction. So the first part of it is deploying a market contract, which is a contract that facilitates the actual trading. The functionality of trade order and the main pieces are in there. And so that's what's being deployed first to the blockchain. So right now we're just waiting for that transaction to be mined. And in that transaction, we call a factory that deploys the contract and also adds that contract address to our registry. And a registry is what allows others to find your contract. And so basically we know that if a contract's in the registry, that it was created from the factory, that it was deployed using our smart contracts, so that it's valid. You don't have to worry that somehow the contract was manipulated or anything like that when it was deployed. So that's the first contract, or the first transaction rather, that is going to be mined and then we'll have deployed. So we can also, should be able to see, okay, so then that one just went through. And then it's going to ask me to, again, to confirm for the next transaction, which is we deploy a collateral pool, which is the contract that houses all of the collateral and accounting for that collateral in regards to a user's position. Once that's deployed, it links the collateral pool to the market contract itself. And then that contract is now able to be traded and is fully functional. Each collateral pool is unique. It's a one-to-one pairing with the market contract itself. And those two pieces are needed in order to facilitate the entire kind of end-to-end life cycle of a trade and a contract. So additionally, this should show you the transaction hash of the previous transaction, which you can pull up on Rinkeby's Etherscan and see the information there. And then in a second, this one will also be completed and we'll have the hash as well. We can pull up the pending transaction also and see its status right now. So we're just waiting for it to be mined. Okay, cool. So it just completed. So we see the succeeded success, and then we also are able to see the address that the contract actually got deployed to. We can also take that address if we want to, and you know, we can pull it up on Etherscan. The contracts aren't published there, but you can see them. And then we can also search for it in our find contracts if we wanted to pull up that information to see the metadata about that contract that we just deployed. So that's the Litecoin contract that we just created. So that's pretty much the added things that we created, was just those explanations of what transactions actually were, so people aren't left so far in the dark about what they're actually confirming.
Pretty cool.
Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, is there any questions on that functionality or feedback or thoughts of how to make it improved or explain it better?
Since it was the first time I saw that screen, when you have the 3 steps there, okay, you are running the second step, for example, but you have a line over number 2. And I was a little bit confused which step was happening, because I thought it was step 2. If you could, it's a very small detail. I can actually share later. Don't worry. It takes so much time. In this screen, for example, here you are in the number 1, right? But you have a line kind of separating the item number 1 and the number 2 that is kind of inside the same box. So I was, oh, here is number 2 and number 1. Just a view from some fresh eyes, maybe. Not sure.
I think if we set the 2 and 3 to a disabled colored, like some kind of light gray, instead of having them looking active, it probably will clear up the confusion pretty simply.
Could be something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good feedback, Anderson. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that caught me too, Anderson. Phil, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I really appreciate that feedback and that insight. I definitely agree that that's a little confusing. The screen's going to get updated. We've been going through the dApp and working on a lot of UI and UX. Nitin and Ari have been really heading that up. So we're going to go to a little bit different format, which is the screen here that you're seeing. But still, I think that I get your point of making sure that it's really clear on what step it's actually on. So yeah, we'll keep that in mind, and maybe we can edit that one or maybe even this screen to make sure it's very clear.
It's really cool. One small point: when you pasted the transaction hash that had the full URL to browse it online, it didn't accept. Maybe the fields could validate or auto accept just the hex hash digits instead of the prefix, or truncate the prefix so you could accept it without having to edit within the field to make it in the specific form that the UI expects.
Got it. You're talking about, so we had that full Rinkeby Etherscan URL, and you're talking about allowing that to be accepted along with just the hexadecimal address, and either one would work correctly.
Right.
That's a cool idea for sure. Yeah, we'll add that. I like that idea.
Any other feedback or questions for Phil? Great. Thanks, Phil. Are there any discussion topics? Oh, I'm not hearing there are. If there's anything that we want to discuss in a general forum, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm still curious about Gitcoin. project management stuff. I'm always curious on this topic, right?
Yeah, so we just started having them take on a few issues to manage. It's really early on, so there's only one issue, and it's actually the new grid view for the Explorer. So yeah, we're still experimenting with it and trying to find out if there's a good fit there. We're also internally doing a really large project planning iteration right now, and looking at other tools and overlays on top of GitHub for some of that. So we'll probably have more to announce with that in the coming week. We spent a lot of time yesterday, and we'll spend more time today doing that. So one of our goals is to get more issues out to the community and to our internal devs, just so everyone can see what we're working on and what the roadmap looks like. I think it'll be really helpful both for contributors and the internal staff. I feel like so many times people ask us what they can work on, and it's like, oh, well, we're going to put some new issues up this week or something like that. And this should hopefully have issues almost for the next month. So some of them will definitely have dependencies, which maybe not be able to work on right away, but at least people will know what's coming up in terms of work. So we're internally doing a lot of that right now to try to refine that, because the internal teams now to a place where it makes a lot more sense to do that and have that process there. So Anderson, I'd love if you ever have time. I know you're a super busy guy, but I think your feedback on the project management process is always really valuable. And maybe in the next week when we have more to show and that board is more created, and you could take a look at it and provide any feedback you may have.
Of course, my pleasure.
Great. Thanks, Phil. So next week, that's a big part of what we're working on this week and next week, the whole planning process, a lot of work on the dApp with the simulated exchange, and then more Market.js. So those are our focus areas, not only for the next week, but for at least the next month or several months out. So you'll start to see some issues and such that'll be posted that you'll be able to pick up and run with. And so we're pretty excited about the work that's happening there. Okay, questions on that? Good. So I did leave you with some inspiration. So for those of you that dare click the link, my favorite was Say Yes. I think it's a worthwhile 10-minute little episode. Hope you have some fun with it. And then my parting question for everyone is that, was anyone married in July? I got bad news for you, Travis. You know what month it is?
What?
It's unlucky month for weddings. That's July. And the saying goes, those who in July do wed must labor for their daily bread. I'm going to post a link for you guys. You can read the whole article.
All right. Dano and Bogdan, I just want to thank you guys both for joining our call for the first time. Really happy to have feedback on anything you guys might find interesting on future calls or things we can do better. Dano, I don't know if you're thinking about contributing or not, but if you are, really be happy to help you kind of get integrated into some of the different repos, the documentation, or anything like that you might be interested in checking out.
Cool. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
It builds fine, so at least the build instructions are good.
So that's a good step in the right direction.
All right, everybody. Thanks again for your time today. And always reach out if you have any questions. Make sure you're part of the Discord channel. and let us know what you need.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks
Bye-bye,
again.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.